Technology is amazing. I mean, if I go on my phone, I can look up Google Maps and I can search for the nearest movie theater. Instead of having to handwrite my notes, I can just use Word or Google Docs. That way my wrist doesn't hurt and I can save it somewhere. I can always save my files to Google Drive. That way, I don't always have to carry a bundle of papers with me. And if I go to a friend's house, I can always access them from their computer or even from the library. And also, if it weren't for today's technology, I wouldn't be able to video chat with my family and friends all around the world, or make more friends. Technology just seems limitless at this point in time. However, there are risks. Cybersecurity is something that we need to be more aware of, and we need to learn how to protect ourselves. Welcome to the first video by Mickey's Geeks on network security. Do you have devices that connect to the internet? How about the Wi-Fi? And do any of those devices have personal information? Let's see how quick a hacker is able to trick you into going into a malicious website. Here on the screen, you're seeing a simulated environment provided by the platform NDG Online to show you how simple it is to trick users into giving away personal information. What we do is we use a social engineering toolkit, SET. And what it does is it creates websites that look just like the ones that you normally access. So here on the screen, you can see that a user has accessed a random IP. Maybe somebody sent it to them and said that it was Google. They told them to log in and look at a video. John Smith logs in with his credentials, but unfortunately he's not able to get in. And once this happens, the attacker on the other end will receive the information that he input in the login screen. It took 5 minutes to set up this environment and this hack. Do you think people are taking the right measures against this type of attack?
However, the majority of users, I feel, don't really take steps to protect their information because they never think that things like that will happen to them, that somebody will, hack into their device or their network or, different things like that. So they don't take that security implementation. But it is very poignant, and it is almost a necessity that you do these things because these things are real and they do happen.
And Josh is right. In reports gathered by the AVAST VPN, I learned that 1 in 131 emails contains a malware. And in 2017, 6.5% of people were victims of identity fraud, with the fraudsters making about $16 billion from hacking those who didn't know how to protect themselves. Also, according to the Digital Identity Guidelines issued by the U.S. Department of Commerce, categories of harm and impact include inconvenience, distress, financial loss, harm to programs, unauthorized release of sensitive information, personal safety, and civil or criminal violations. How can I keep my personal information, or even my money, from falling into the wrong hands? The way to do this is through a concept called CIA, Confidentiality, Integrity, and Availability. Make sure that you keep your information private. Make your password strong, don't share personal information with people, and make sure to encrypt your data and your information in your messages. Integrity and availability will follow after. Let's see how we can learn to protect ourselves. So first, with confidentiality, an associate who's also a part of the founding of the Mickey's Geeks YouTube channel here, Zahir Al-Zanbadi, who is a senior storage solutions consultant at HP. He and I worked together on an encryption software showing people how they can encrypt their emails.
So encryption is kind of a tricky topic. Not a lot of people
know or understand it. And what it is it's making information unreadable to everyone except the people who are allowed to read it. So if you're authorized, you should be able to see it. But if you're not, then you shouldn't be able to. And this is where I'm going to create my new key pair. So it shows me here that I need a lowercase and uppercase, numbers, a special character, and a total count. Then I'm going to put generate. And so now a new key pair, just like I was talking about earlier, where you have your types of encryption, you have a public key and a private key, or you just have symmetrical keys, a key and a lock. But our new key pair has been created, and now we can back up our key pair to some type of external media, so that if we lose our private key, we'll still be able to decrypt our emails. And over here, I did get this notification to enter the passphrase to unlock the OpenPGP secret key. So that same passphrase that I put in earlier, I'm going to put it in now. And the message was decrypted. So instead of seeing a lot of different text, I get to see what's actually inside of the message. And that's what encryption is. It kind of hides the content of something in a different format. And it ensures that what you are trying to give to somebody is received by them and only seen by them based on a set key and a set passcode. Now we'll dive into integrity. Joshua is going to walk us through a scan for malware, a scan that checks his computer to maintain the integrity of his device.
That's why things like this Malwarebytes, with these certain companies that you can purchase products from, are just basically instrumental in keeping up your overall health of your network, just to make sure that your online data security is safe. You know, so you want to follow those best practices. Now, enough of looking at my ugly mug. Let's go ahead and jump into the beautiful program that we have here. Malwarebytes has put together what seems to be a really clean interface. You have your dashboard over here, and you have a few settings that you can basically go through to optimize or, utilize the program to its best potential. You've got a cleaning button that opens up right away when the software is open. Basically, you can start the scan and it will start cleaning up your system. On the right-hand side, it does basically give you the premium features that are provided with the free version of this app. Because I am, within my 13 days, I will definitely be taking advantage of some of those features. It gives you the time of your last scan and date of your last scan. That way you can basically make sure that you keep up to date with making sure that these scans are done on time to maintain overall integrity of your system. And then it just basically tells you if the system is updated to the most current version as well. So let's go ahead and start by utilizing the scan. I'm going to start the scan right now. It looks like it's going through a few features. As you can see, it is checking for updates, doing pre-scan operations, scanning for memory. Looks like it's auto-focusing on my finger, so I'll take that away. It'll start scanning the startup files, which are basically the files that your computer or device uses to boot up its iOS or OS, I should say. And then it will start the scan registry, which is basically going through the registry on your computer files to see if there are any malicious programs. And it will go through the rest of those scans had wanted in the first place. The scan had completed, and it indicates that there were no threats detected on this computer.
Lastly, availability. Make sure your data is regularly updated, and also use site checkers, scans, and other web protection services to make sure that you are not receiving viruses or any malicious content to your devices. Let's walk through AVAST with Vu Tran, an IT help desk technician at CompConnection, to see how he can use this product to combat some of those malicious attacks and viruses.
Hi everyone, today I would like to show you AVAST. AVAST is a powerful antivirus internet security software with many great features. AVAST is available on Microsoft Windows, Mac OS, Android, and iOS. Now, let's take a look at the core shields. AVAST offers 4 core shields. First, File Shield. This will scan any file added to or open on your PC. For an example, I have this sample virus file. I'm going to extract it. As you can see, AVAST notified me immediately and moved the file to the virus chest. Next, Behavioral Shield. This will warn you if any application behaves suspiciously. Next, Web Shield. This will block website attack and unsafe download. Last, Mail Shield. This will block dangerous email and attachment. Ransomware Shield. AVAST also offers protection from ransomware.
For more tips and tricks on how to protect yourself, feel free to visit the other videos on this website that go into a deep review of different features of the products we've mentioned in this video, or you can navigate to any of the links that are mentioned at the end of this video, including the Time magazine that we've referenced a couple times, which has a checklist at the very end for people who would like to know what they can do in order to keep themselves safe. For example, using complex passwords, changing them frequently, avoiding public Wi-Fi, and so on and so forth. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions or concerns, or if you'd like to follow up with us on some of the products we've reviewed or some of the concepts that we've talked about, please feel free to reach out to the Mickey Geeks team, and we would be more than happy to answer your questions. Remember, CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. With that, thank you so much, and hope you're protected.